I was born in Springfield, Missouri, November 18, 1901. And my name is George R. Wilhoit Sr.
W-I-L?
W-I-L-H-O-I-T. George R.
Okay. Who were your parents?
Ralph Ralph R. Wilhoit and I've got my tongue all crossed up here. Loda. Ralph and Loda Wilhoit.
What was your mother's maiden name?
Her name was Oldham. Her father was had a blacksmith shop on the square in Springfield.
Huh.
And later they moved to Nichols Junction, which is right west of Springfield.
I see.
And my father's father was a captain in the Civil War and came to Springfield during the Civil War.
What was his name?
James. And his mother was Roundtree. And the Roundtrees was the first school teacher in Greene County.
You remember his full name, the Civil War captain?
I don't. I know it. I've got it in books, but it's an odd name.
Oh, James is his first name.
Yeah, that was my grandfather.
Yeah.
But his father, his wife's father's one that I can't remember. James was my grandfather.
Last name?
Wilhoit.
Okay. Oh, same as yours. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a picture of him in uniform during the Civil War?
No, I don't have. I give all of those to my son.
Oh.
Lives in Tulsa.
Does he have one of them
I
in
don't know
uniform?
if he has one in uniform or not.
If he does, someday we'd like to copy that.
I'll be glad to get it for you.
Okay.
I have a cousin. She lives in Springfield, and she has collected all the material that she can find on the Wilhoits and the Roundtrees.
Okay.
And I get a lot of that from she says some she sends down that I want, but I've never seen the girl. But I have a grandson that goes and visits her and gets a lot of information.
Yeah. What's your first memory of growing up?
Oh, I guess more than anything is being around my grandfather's blacksmith. I always enjoyed going around there, and he would make me take a horseshoe nail and make a ring out of it and give it to me, and different things like that. Take a band off of a wagon wheel and take a piece of lumber and make me a stick so I can roll the wheel. You ever do that?
Well, I've seen it done.
Yeah, that was my great pleasure.
Did you have anything on the end of the stick?
Yeah, I had a handle. Had a cross. It's like a cross. Yes, and the cross piece was at the bottom.
Oh, does that help you hold the?
No, you just shoved it.
You shoved it.
Yeah.
Huh.
Run and shoved it, and we'd have races that way, and the boys would all have different sizes of wagon rings. The bands that goes around a hub of a wagon wheel.
Did they ever use the hoops off of a barrel?
No, they were always usually they're too thin.
Too thin.
We always got one that had to be was solid.
Okay. Did you ever see the stick with a tin can on the end of it to help hold the wheel when you?
No, but we have taken off. Yes, we've taken off a rubber band, metal band off of a barrel and cut them, and make them just like a moon, a quarter moon.
I see. Yeah. Okay.
Or a half moon.
Yeah. And where did you go to school?
I went to school, grade school in Camel School and McGregor School, and then of course high school.
Was that in Springfield?
Yes.
What was the name of the high school in Springfield?
Well, it was just at the high school. They just finished the high school.
Probably only one there at the time.
Well, it's over there. It's over on Center Street.
Okay.
Is it still there?
I don't know.
It's right across. It was right west of Drury, across the street from Drury College.
Oh, okay. And what was your first job?
First job was working after school at the Frisco freight office.
Huh.
Checking tickets. Every truck of freight was on a hand car, push car.
Ooh. You almost forgot something here.
And I don't know if you haven't turned it on.
The microphone. I get too excited here.
You know, run that back and see what it sounds like.
Well, get you interested in the questions. Anyway, you were telling me about the blacksmith shop and going to high school in Springfield and your job in the Frisco Railroad ticket office.
Yeah, this is here. Here's where this woman. Here's my family. She's working on our. And she's got that on all of my uncles. And
yeah, I see.
see, there's a. Yes, I don't have the others. See, I've got some put ups. These are just the children of that family.
That's good to have all that down. But when you were working at the railroad, how old were you then?
I was about 15.
15.
I went to school. Went to school in the mornings. I made arrangements where I could go from 8 till noon.
I see.
They had at that time. They had where you could, but I didn't have any. I didn't have any study periods.
Yeah. Then, when did you first hear about World War One?
Oh, that was made available. We used to go down to the old Leader Journal, Leader Press, I think it is. They used to have bulletins on the front glass of the office.
Yeah.
And they had a camera, had a motion picture machine across the street, Bell Telephone, and they had a big curtain on the front of their building, and they flashed that. People would stand out on the streets and watch that for the news.
Huh. So that's how you first heard about World War One?
Mm-hmm.
How old were you then?
Oh, I don't know. I was about 14 or 15, on that area.
And then when did you enlist in the Navy?
Well, I tried to get in the National Guard there.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, under Captain Frey. He was company commander.
Huh.
And I used to go down there and watch them drill, and then over at Drury College, they formed a company over there, and I knew the one of the drill masters, Dan Nee. He was a coach for Drury College. He was a good family friend, and he let me drill, get in there and drill after his afternoons. And I used to go over there and drill. I've done that for about a year.
What was the name of the unit there at that time?
Company K. I tried to enlist, but I was too young.
Now, were they all members of Drury College at the time?
Oh, no. I just say that's where I got my military training. At Drury there in the afternoons and I drilled with the students there that wanted to be in the military company.
And you say Company K, did they have another designation?
No, it was Company K. I forgot what battalion they were. I think it was either, I don't know whether it was 1st, 2nd Battalion, but that was the commanding officer there. And it was Captain Frey.
Were they drilling in civilian clothes, or did they have uniforms?
No, they had don't you remember the old? Just like the same like it is today.
Yeah.
Same setup.
But since you weren't in it, did you have a uniform?
No. I just go down and just hang around, and I knew quite a few of the soldiers, You
think there's any of them alive today?
I doubt it. I doubt it, because I'm 94, and they'd all be older than I am.
Well, if you hear of any, let us know.
I'd like to know that, but
Because we come down and interview them, if you let us know.
but I don't think they could be, but I don't know.
But anyway, so you drilled about a year with the National Guard Company.
No, over at Drury.
At Drury.
This company they'd formed at Drury.
Oh, okay, so they're all cadets.
They weren't cadets. They were just like I were. They was wanting to. It was a volunteer company of students there at Drury.
Oh,
They wanted to get military training before they went into service.
I see.
So that's where I went and got. I got where that I was a pretty good soldier, as far as military.
Did they have rifles for you?
No, they used wooden rifles.
Wooden rifles. Huh. Let's see. Then how long was it before you got into the Navy?
Well, it was big after that. I remember one member of the Company K, the night they left. They were going to leave at about 10, 11 o'clock at night. I walked and followed when they went to the depot. They all marched down in the company formation, and I followed them clear down there and stayed with them till the train left. Just go walk from one gang to another.
Yeah. Huh.
Where did they go from there?
I don't know whether they went down to Oklahoma or not. I don't remember where. I was trying to think if they went down to that fort down there, western part of Oklahoma.
Camp Doniphan?
No.
Fort Sill?
Fort Sill. I don't know if they went there or not.
Yeah. When they left, were they part of the National Guard? Or were they part of the?
They went in the the regular army. Yes.
Then you would have been about 16 then? Or?
I was going on 16, yeah, because I was 16. I saw my my discharge the other day, and I was 18 by their records, but I was only 16.
How did you do that?
Because I run off, and they turned me down in St. Louis. I come back, and my dad, I kept harping so much, and he finally consented and let me go.
Was it the Army or the Navy that turned you down in St. Louis?
No, the Navy.
Navy.
Mm-hmm.
But then did he have to go with you when you enlisted second time?
No, he just told give permission. But I still had to go as if I were 18.
I see. So you're 96 by their records.
Yeah. But I've never used that. But if I had ever made an application for something that made a difference,
Yeah.
2 years would have. But I never have asked the government for anything.
Now, where at exactly did you enlist in St. Louis?
Well, I enlisted there in Springfield,
Oh, in Springfield.
but I had to go to St. Louis for physical examination, and I was sworn in St. Louis.
Where was that at?
I was sworn in there at St. Louis, and we went to Great Lakes. I went to Great Lakes.
Great Lakes up in Chicago.
Uh-huh.
What was the training like when you first went in the Navy?
Well, they picked me out the first day, first hour I got there because I'd already had my basic training there at Drury, and they cabbaged on me and put me in a guard company. They just ruined me.
How's that?
Well, because it was confined there to the Great Lakes. I mean, I didn't get to go where I wanted to go because I got to be a section chief in one of the companies there, and on account of me having a training.
Yeah.
So I made a mistake. I should have never. Well, I didn't know. I thought that was really something. But I made a mistake.
So did they put you in charge of people then?
Oh yes, I was a punk kid there, and the other veterans didn't like it too much. But I knew it. I knew it, and got where I was pretty good at it. Not brag, but I
Were you tall then, like you are now?
yeah, slender.
Yeah.
How long were you in Great Lakes?
A year and a half.
What else did you do there then?
Well, we made a lot of trips. They were having. We had a especially good company there that was the guard company, and they were having war savings bonds, sell them, and they would take a company there, a company and the band, and we'd travel all over the Middle West, going from different towns, and they'd have parades, and we would show our maneuvers, and I really had a lot of experiences on that the average surgery wouldn't get.
Yeah, that's right. Why do you think you enlisted in the first place?
Sir?
Why do you think you enlisted in the first place?
Oh, I thought it was still a job to do.
Okay.
I was a raw kid. I should have had more sense, but I didn't think about that.
What did the uniform look like in the Navy at that time?
Well, I liked it. It was hard to get accustomed to, but it wasn't bad. One thing about it, you had to be clean.
Yeah.
You learned to keep clean.
Was the uniform then much different than it is today?
I don't think there's much difference. I don't know about the trousers, whether they button down in front or not. They'd have it where they drop down in front. Do you remember?
13 buttons.
Yeah.
I spent 4 years in the Navy.
Yeah. Well, you know what it is then.
Yes, sir.
I don't know. Are they still using those?
Yes, sir. Sure do.
I haven't seen any for years.
Not many left, but they still issue it.
I wonder about that.
Well, the wool uniforms, I assume.
Where'd you get your training? I mean,
Great Lakes.
you did?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was in the 4th Regiment.
Oh. Now, your outfit then, would it be 4th Regiment Guard Company, or was it?
Yeah, it was a Company B.
Company B?
Company B was Guard Company. A Company was miscellaneous different groups that were in the regiment. And but Company B was a Guard Company.
Okay.
And we had a tough company commander there, and he.
Well, after boot camp, where did you go?
That's where I went. I went. They put me right on in over to Company B, since I had. They watched me there for a couple of days, and then they put me right on over after all my shots, and I went in the Company B.
Now, when you, where were you when the war ended?
Well, I left Springfield in 1921.
But I mean, when the war ended in 1918.
Oh, I was there.
You were in Great Lakes.
Oh yes, I think I was there. Yes.
You remember what it was like there at the time?
Yes, yes. I was on duty, and everybody else was gone except the ones that was on duty, and everybody went to Chicago to celebrate. And I just happened to be that it was my day to be on tour duty. They were sorry, and that's when they come back in that night. We just let them just drag them in. And I will forget that. I never will forget that night when they started coming in. Some was carried in. Oh, it was bad. Beat up, tore up. They say they had a terrible time up there. Everything was free.
When you came back to Springfield, were there any parades for returning veterans, or
We had one that I can remember. Other than that, there wasn't.
did you take part in that?
No, I didn't. I did when they had the. I don't remember. I remember that because I was on the. They had a color guard, big celebration. They did have a celebration too, because I was one of the color guards.
Right down.
Down to well, we went marched clear from start over Commercial and come clear down to the square around Jefferson. Then we went back Boonville Street. That was about, I don't know how many, that was 2 or 3 miles there.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, I do remember that. I forget now what that was. That was a year or so later.
You've been about 17 or 18?
Yeah,
What did you do when you got home,
What do you mean?
Springfield, when you got out of the Navy?
Went back to school.
Okay, did you go back to high school or to college? Or
No, I went to high school.
high school? So actually you were dropping out of high school to go to the Navy. Then
Yeah,
come back.
yeah.
Okay. And you told me on the phone that you had joined the National Guard Company there in Springfield in 1920?
Yeah, I was, it was the reorganization. I went in when they would reorganize the National Guard.
I see.
And Captain Frey was a major then. And a fellow named Curtis, I believe, was the company commander. And I was first sergeant of a headquarters company.
What?
John Helfrich was his lieutenant. Helfrich, he was commanding officer of that detachment.
You remember anything else about the designation of what that outfit was at that time?
I don't remember. I forget now what company it was.
Was it the only one in Springfield?
Yes.
Okay, I could probably find out. Where did you drill at that time?
Down at the convention hall.
Convention Hall. Is that still there?
I don't know. It's back down on Camel Street. Camel Street, and it was the first street south of College Street. It was a big. It was convention. It was a big auditorium there, and they had room there for the lockers, and they drilled in the seats were portable, and that's where they had the headquarters for, and that's where when they reorganized, that's where they had it then too.
How much were you paid then for a drill? You remember?
No, it wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't very much. I don't remember that.
How often did you drill?
Once a week.
You remember which night of the week it was?
Mondays, I think.
Mondays? How long would the drills be?
Oh, 2 to 3 hours.
And what sort of things did you do in that 2 to 3 hours?
Well, it was mostly schooling. We didn't have anything else we didn't have any equipment.
No equipment.
Mm-mm.
World War I uniforms, I assume? Or
Yes. Mm-hmm.
did you have the Smoky Bear hats or
All the big hats.
big hats?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the wrap leggings.
Yeah.
How'd you keep those up?
Oh, it wasn't bad. You get used to them.
Wasn't it? Were you expected to bring your own food, or did they feed you on a drill?
No, they didn't. A lot of times the wives would come in and, have food.
Oh, they would.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah, it's kind of social too at that time.
Yeah. Did you go into summer camps later on?
Yes, they had one. I didn't. We went the 1 year. The first year was there. We had a camp at Sedalia, at the state fair. We camped out in the middle of the racetrack.
Tents?
And tents, yes. And they had our camper. We had our cook tents and all, pits and all. And they cooked shacks right out there. And at nights we'd get out and stand at attention and put on exhibition at night.
Did people come out to watch?
Oh yeah, they're there in front of the grandstand.
Was it during the fair?
Yes, during the fair.
Would it be August or?
Well, it had to be August because that's when they have it.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah, that was part of the part of the fair that year. That was the first year.
Were you the only company there, or were there other?
Yeah, we owned the company.
Wonder why they chose Springfield to go.
Well, I don't know. I know we went up by train. Train. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Was you were at a headquarters outfit, but was it an infantry altogether?
Yes.
Okay. Did you have any trucks?
No equipment.
Turn this over here. How long were you in the National Guard at that time?
Just a year. So then my mother, she wanted to go to Oklahoma, and my family busted up, and I went with my mother.
You'd been about 19 or 20?
That was 1920, 21, around 1920.
Do you have any pictures?
21. No, I don't have any pictures. I don't know what happened to them.
Or have you ever seen any pictures of that company?
No, I never did have it. I didn't have no Kodak. In those days, I didn't have that kind of money. Couldn't afford pictures.
Were some of the fellows in the unit World War I veterans at that time, like yourself?
Oh yeah, practically all of them were.
Okay.
Practically all of them were veterans, and had been previous members of the National Guard.
Even before the World War I?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why do you think you enlisted in the Guard then after you had served in the Navy?
Well, what do you mean?
Well, like, some would say you'd already done your duty since you.
Oh well, it was just you kind of like it.
You like
Just,
it,
just
okay.
like here, I organized the State Guard.
That was World War II.
That was World War II. But I'd say you have that feeling.
What kind of
Feeling about, I don't know, it's a feeling about of military training. It kind of gets in your life, and if you either you like it or dislike it, and I liked it.
Did you do anything between when you left in 1920, 21 up until World War II as far as military?
No.
Okay, that's interesting. Now, tell us about your State Guard involvement in World War II.
Well, I don't know. We had a General Rupp here. He was a commanding general of the Missouri National Guard, He had headquarters were here.
Yeah.
And it happened that I just got acquainted with him, you know, and had become very good friends. And when the time when they were started organized, well, I just took it upon myself, and Brad Miner was was from the old 35th Division. That was 35th Division is one that the Missouri Springfield was in.
Yeah.
Brad Miner was he was instrumental too, in a way, in wanting a state guard here. So I went ahead and got to start to work, and we just organized one here.
What did you have to do to organize a state guard at that time?
Oh, just take time and go around and pick your men. I mean, of course, anyone can volunteer, but to start with, we kind of picked the persons we wanted in.
Mm-hmm.
And then from then on, it just fell into place.
Now, were you an officer in the state guard then?
I was captain here then.
Okay.
I went in as a first lieutenant. Then for years, several years, I was a captain. We built a new army while I was here.
That's the stone one down here on the corner?
No, yeah,
Oh, you're
yeah.
from Springfield.
No, I'm talking about here.
About here?
Yeah, that was a new one. That was when I was captain there. Yeah.
Okay. That was a WPA?
Yes.
What was your rank then in the Navy when you were in World War I?
First class seaman.
Which is?
E5.
E5, okay. He knows the Navy ranks better. Was there an age requirement for the state guard at that time?
No. No, we had some oldies, but they were good soldiers.
Do you remember what the oldest man in the state guard was here?
Who he was? I remember. Jim Cahalan, I believe.
Or his age?
No, I don't remember his age. We didn't pay much attention to the age because we were all old ourselves. Of course, I wasn't as old as some of them, but they all done a pretty good job. We had the best, not because I was in there, but we had the best drill company in the regiment.
The regiment was a number.
Oh yeah, Aurora, and
I mean, is it like the 2nd Regiment or?
we were in the 2nd Regiment.
2nd Regiment. Okay, and what was the company here?
Company A.
Company A. Okay. Was there any pay for the state guard?
No. No, except our uniforms were furnished.
Oh, okay. What were the uniforms like?
Very good. Just about regular Army.
Regular Army.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What about summer camps?
No. Yes, we had. Well, we just took in a few out of each company, and went to Quiver River. They had a camp up there.
Is that where the state park is?
Yeah, and they had regular Army instructors. They had a detachment there, and both of my boys were in the. Now you can figure the age that they were in the company.
Oh, so they were in the same time you were there, huh?
Yes.
Huh.
But we'd take weekends. We'd go down on the river country, James and White River country. We had a truck. We could always get another truck. We had a few little equipment, and we could take our outfit and go down there and maneuver around and have exercises.
I see.
We had a pretty good outfit.
What kind of weapons did they have for the state
We had a lot of Enfields.
Enfields?
Mm-hmm. Then they give us some automatic shotguns for riot duty.
Did they ever call you out on riot duty?
No.
Parade services?
Yes, for the parade service we had quite a bit of that.
Funerals?
Yes, well, I was usually one in charge of the funerals, but of course, and the Legion. There, I got that's my 75th. 70. I've been in the American Legion 75 years.
This one here.
Uh-huh.
Have you hold it and we'll get it on film here.
Well, good.
Okay. Is that a record, 75 years?
Well, no, I don't think it's a record. More than likely, no, I'm sure it isn't a record. But
Let's see. There, I'll get it for you.
I wanted to say something there and I forgot it.
Something about your 75 years in the American Legion, or?
No, I'll tell you when they. Dan Nee, he was an attorney there in Springfield, and my father practically adopted him, got him started in politics.
I'm afraid of that.
That's all right, I'll put it back. And I forgot now what I wanted to say.
Something about your doctor getting started in politics.
Oh yeah, Dan Nee. They were organizing the American Legion. We all met out there. They had a big watermelon feast out at Doling Park one Sunday, and all the veterans invited. That's when they had a bunch of speakers and military dignitaries, and that's when the Legion was organized there. And Dan Nee was the one that kind of the head of the organization getting it organized.
Yeah.
He's the one that was a coach over there at Drury.
Oh, okay. So did you organize it right after World War One?
Yeah, after World War One.
Okay. Did you ever do any flood duty in the State Guard?
No, we've never had any. We had it that I know of. They might have been, but we were never called out.
You remember Mr. Forsyth, the banker?
Yes, yeah.
He shot some movies.
Yes, yeah. He come in later. He didn't come in the original organ. Right. He might have too. I forgot. But he finally got to be regimental commander.
Let's see.
Most of the officers were World War One veterans in the State Guards.
How young did they take people into the State Guard?
Well, pretty young. Be like I am. They look old enough, we'd take them. Because they made pretty good soldiers.
Yeah. Did they have those blue denim uniforms?
No, we didn't have any denim then. We had shoes, everything except. No, we didn't have any denims. They might come in later. See, I left here. I left here. Didn't move away from here, but I went to St. Louis to work. And I was gone a while up there, and I just had to leave took leave of the National Guard, the State Guard. Mm-hmm. I went up there.
When did you move from Springfield to Pierce City?
And I went to Oklahoma.
In between.
Yeah, I've been here. I came here in 1932.
Oh.
So I stayed in Oklahoma for 10 years.
I see. That's quite a while.
Yeah, I was in Oklahoma. That's where I met my wife. She She lived at Duncan, Oklahoma. I went to the oil fields to get rich.
You have any luck?
No, I just done it. I had to get mine the hard way.
What did you do in the oil fields?
Roughneck.
And what is a roughneck exactly?
Does rough work.
Rough work?
You know, labor work, it's a roughneck.
Huh. Well, if you had it all to do over again, would you do anything different?
I doubt it. Not my wife. We've been married for 73 years.
Really? It's quite a while.
She's in a rest home now. She lost her eyesight, and now she's got Alzheimer's disease.
Yeah.
I go over every day at 12 and feed her and come home back about 2 o'clock.
What do you attribute your long life to?
Just ordinary living. I don't know. I don't know what you would call it. I just live as normal and plain as possible. I like everything in life. I don't. I've always enjoyed having a drink at 4 o'clock, but that's all. And
That's about as far as you can go and be in the state.
yeah, he said he had to go down there. He had, I think, he had 50 cases. He said it'd take him about a month.
Mercy me. Well, he be in some good country. That's real pretty and nice down there. It beat the weather.
Are the town named Camel down there?
Yes, sir.
I have a friend here that goes down there and spends his winter at Camel. And I were going down there this year. My wife had to go and have a stroke. And,
Well, that's too bad because you'd enjoyed that. Day.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this has been a terrible winter.
Oh, it's been
The coldest. You know, it hasn't been the most snowiest. We've had a lot of, but the coldest winds that we've ever had.
Yeah, well, John lives about 30 miles from Jeff, and I live in Jefferson City, and it's been a real weird winter. It'd be warm one week, and then it'd be cold.
It seems like it's every other week, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Good weather then was coming.
What were the winters like when you were a boy?
We had a lot of snow, but it didn't. You know, my mother going to school. We of course then in those days, most days we wore overalls, and in the morning she'd get 2 sacks, and she would use binder twine and put wrap those burlap sacks. She'd split them, cut them in two, and wrap them and tie with binder twine, and we'd save them to after school. We'd take them off when we got to school, and we'd put them back on before we come home. And we lived about a mile or so from school. And
That was in Springfield?
yeah, that was the McGregor School that particular time.
Huh.
And we had a lot of snows, but we enjoyed it, those snows. We built forts. They don't do that. The kids don't do that no more, do they?
Not very much.
I can remember doing it in 1960.
Yeah, we had a lot of that. Had a lot of fun. And a lot of times, some of them would get a bucket of water and soak their. My folks put a stop to that. That hurts you. You take a snowball and soak it in water and freeze it again.
Like a rock.
That's just like a rock.
Yeah.
So they were outlawed in our area.
Break a window light out with something.
Yes, we had. I've done it with. There wasn't no icy snow either. I broke several of them out.
Did you ever have baseball games when you were growing up?
Oh yeah, we had a lot of baseball games. Yeah, My brother was a pretty good pitcher. He pitched for Western Association. He wasn't very good enough to stay, though.
Was your brother in World War One?
No, he didn't go. He had a couple of babies, and he didn't go. He didn't have to go.
Can you think of anybody else around here that we should interview that would have been in the Guard maybe after World War One?
No, there's nobody. I'm the oldest one here.
Okay.
I don't even. Jack George, his father-in-law, Harlan Moore, he was a military man.
Yeah, I tried.
That was my last. That was my last buddy, friend. He's my fishing buddy, and we fished together for 40, 50 years.
Yeah.
And mine are all gone. My friends are gone.
Were you here when they had General Rupp's funeral?
Oh yes.
Tell us about that.
General Rupp. Oh, it was quite a thing here. They had a military band, and we had from Crowder, and all the dignitaries, state dignitaries, and military dignitaries were here, and it was really quite a thing. Oh, General Rupp, he was. We're not on camera, are we?
Yeah. You want me to turn it off?
Well, I didn't know it was.
Did you say he had something to do with the State Guard as well?
No.
He was too old by then, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, yes. He had the state. He had it here for quite a few years in the state office. Colonel Manchester was his aide. Colonel Manchester.
Is there anything you'd like to add to close?
No, I don't know a thing.